What's up, guys? Crypto Clay here, and there's so much to talk about today. I just tried doing a live stream and my upload speed was just ridiculous, and so I'm making a video on all of these things, on all the things, but the first thing that I want to take a look at is just the market and show you guys my thoughts on what's happening with Bitcoin and Ethereum and the market as a whole. So let's just jump right into that, guys. All right, so here we have a one-day chart of Bitcoin, and I've drawn a couple of trend lines, one for a support and one for a resistance. And as you can see, we're kind of in the middle of this wedge where we have the resistance, somewhere around 10.6, and then we've got a support somewhere around 9.698, and we're kind of in limbo right now. If you take a look at the MACD at the bottom, at the very bottom of the page, you can see that we've kind of been trading sideways for the past few days. And if you scroll out a little bit, you can see that we haven't done this in a very long time, where we've literally just been trading sideways. Like, you can see that at the end of January, we kind of did a little bit, but like we saw a little bit of growth there. Over the past few days, though, here, it's pretty much been nothing. There's been no growth, no collapse. It's just been trading sideways, guys. And so what we're looking for right here is either a break up or a break down, and nobody really has the information right there. But if you were to take a look at this chart and look at the TA, it would show that we're still in a downtrend, a bearish market. So what do I think about that personally? Well, I think that you have to dig a little bit deeper whenever you're looking at things like this. And right now, there's a lot of fundamental analysis out there to support the fact that we should be in a bullish trend, and we're not. So, after going to that conference last weekend, I realized that the Chinese market is a lot stronger than I thought. I talked about Chinese New Year not really meaning anything like all these people were talking about. But in fact, some of the experts that were there were saying that the Chinese are still very, very strong in this market. And they all pulled their funds out for Chinese New Year, and, a lot of them haven't come back. I believe Chinese New Year ends either this coming week or the following. And I believe it was March 2nd that I saw is the date that it actually ends. But that's the fundamental analysis aspect. We have things like Lightning Network coming online, and that is very strong that's a very strong case for a bullish Bitcoin, because that means that people can literally spend their Bitcoin for fractions of the fees that they used to. More people are integrating segregated witness. These are all really, really great things, guys, coming out for Bitcoin. And on top of that, we get news like this. Goldman Sachs-backed Circle agrees to buy crypto exchange Poloniex. This is a huge deal. This is a very big deal, because just 2 years ago, the CEO of Circle said that Bitcoin would be dead in 5 to 10 years. And what does Circle do? They go and buy a crypto exchange. So This is really bullish right here, guys. And they didn't spend too much money. $400 million sounds like a lot, but if the market continues to grow like I think it will, they got that for a steal. If the market continues to grow in the way that it has, they could easily make $1 billion over the next 2 years. Just as a trading platform. So this is really, really bullish news right here. And I'm sure that Circle had to get the approval of their investors to do something like this. And their investors, if they didn't believe in something like this, they probably wouldn't allow it to happen. So I'm thinking that they're bullish on this market as well. Otherwise, this never would have happened, guys. So that's really great news. Next up, the president of the Tezos Foundation has officially resigned and been replaced. And what that means for Tezos is that they're actually going to be able to launch their coin, their blockchain. This is really, really good news for Tezos and the crypto community as a whole, because for those of you that don't know, Tezos raised $232 million in their ICO in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And that's worth over $1 billion today. So this was a very, very large ICO, and many people thought that because of the controversy that was going on, they were never going to get to launch. And here we are today. They've finally come to a resolution. Johan Gevers is stepping down, and we're going to be able to see this blockchain launch. And it's about damn time, because we were promised a February time frame, and it's been about 8 or 9 months since they had their ICO. So even if they were to launch like a beta of the blockchain, that would still be better than what we currently have, which is nothing. We literally just have paper wallets right now. Anybody that invested in the ICO. Me personally, I invested in this ICO because I thought that a self-governance model was incredible, and I think that might be the way of the future. But we'll just have to wait and see, guys. Either way, this is really good news for Tezos. Something interesting that I saw today that I wanted to mention was Craig Wright, the guy who claimed to be Satoshi Nakamoto, is getting sued for $10 billion. And the lawsuit is being brought on by a brother of Dave Kleiman, who was linked to like the earliest days of Bitcoin. And some people have even said that Kleiman was a part of the design of Bitcoin. You know, for those people that believe that Satoshi Nakamoto is not just a single person, but a group of people, they believe that he might have been one of these people. And anyways, the brother is claiming that Craig Wright is trying to steal a bunch of Bitcoin from his deceased brother, which would equate to a whopping $10 billion, 1.1 million Bitcoins. Now, if his claim is true, and Craig Wright is trying to steal $1.1 million from his brother, that kind of makes a strong case that he might be part of that group of people that created Bitcoin, because the only people that I could think of that would have 1.1 million Bitcoins would be people that got in the very first few days of the blockchain being created and mining on their CPU or their GPU or whatever. Because after that first like couple of years, it became incredibly difficult to mine on just your average computer. ASICs started getting introduced. And yeah, I just don't see how anybody could have 1.1 million Bitcoin unless they were one of the founding members of Bitcoin. Either way, I thought this article was interesting. It might be complete shit and it might not mean anything. He might be completely way off his game and claiming that Craig Wright, is doing something that he isn't. So who knows? It's an interesting story, and I don't know what to believe. I don't think that either one of these people are Satoshi Nakamoto personally, but either way, I would read into this if I were you guys. It's pretty interesting, and just take a look at it. See what you think. See if you think that these people are Satoshi Nakamoto. All right, next up. So I made a post on Twitter today saying that if you're selling your ZClassic right now, you're making a huge mistake, because in a day from now, Bitcoin Private will be the next Bitcoin fork. And anybody holding ZClassic or Bitcoin at the time of this hard fork will be receiving their Bitcoin Private. And the way that they're going to do this is they're going to take all ZClassic and all Bitcoin in circulation and combine them together. So what we have currently is about I think we have about 18 million Bitcoin currently in circulation and about 3 million ZClassic. So that would bring us to around 21, 22 million Bitcoin private in circulation. So still a very small circulating supply comparatively to other blockchains, of course. And moving forward, I think that anonymous cryptocurrencies are going to be a lot more lucrative, because more and more people are wanting their privacy on the web, because a lot of us learned the hard way that blockchains are not anonymous. And if you do your research, you know that blockchains are not anonymous, but not everybody knew that in the beginning. You used to think, well, I'll never be caught doing what I'm doing, even if what you're doing isn't illegal. Every now and then there's things that you just want to keep to yourself, and that's completely fine and completely legal. But you thought that that was safe on a network like Bitcoin because nobody goes in and looks at the blockchain transactions, but we're starting to see that that's not necessarily so anymore. The IRS is going in and auditing the blockchain, and I think moving forward, privacy coins are going to be the way of the future for a lot of people doing a lot of things. And I'm not saying that I'm in favor of that, but I think it's going to be very lucrative to hold on to these types of cryptocurrencies. And so anybody selling their ZClassic right now and dumping it on the market is doing themselves a very large disservice, in my opinion. And, I don't say that very lightly because I've never really been very much invested in privacy coins. In fact, I bought Monero whenever it was still, pennies. I bought into Monero whenever it was still pennies, and I sold it at I don't even know. I sold it at 50 cents, thinking that I had made a huge profit. Huge profit, right? Because Monero never did anything. It kind of stayed less than $1 forever until this past year. And then it just took off because people started realizing how private it is compared to things like Bitcoin. A lot of people on the dark web were using Bitcoin for transactions and have actually moved to things like Monero and Zcash. And now we're going to have another one on the market known as Bitcoin Private. And I think that people are really going to FOMO into this one because it has Bitcoin in the name. And I'm not saying that that's right either, but it's true. And you can't deny that fact. Anything with Bitcoin attached to the name has done pretty well over the past few months. Bcash has somehow still stayed over $1,000. I have no idea how that's so, but it's still thriving. Bitcoin Gold is over $100, and all they did was change the mining algorithm. So I don't really know what the point of that one was, but now we're going to have Bitcoin Private, and this one actually offers utility that no other Bitcoin has. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with this one. I think that it's going to do extremely well after it's launched. There's a lot of people in the Twitter space that are talking about this one, and I think it's going to do well. So I would not be selling my ZClassic before launch if I were you. I would hold on to it in a wallet that is secure and wait for your hard forked coins. And then, if you decide to dump your ZClassic afterwards, so be it. But they're still planning on making updates for ZClassic as well. So I don't think that project is going to be dead either. I don't know how much they're going to do on that project after Bitcoin Private is created, but we'll see. Okay. So the last thing that I really wanted to talk about today was my new trading platform that I just started in a partnership with 3 other gentlemen. I talked about it a little bit in my interview yesterday, and I just wanted to let you guys know that me personally, I'm going to be doing a lot of work on there. And I used to do a lot of these things for free on YouTube, and now I'm going to be moving them to this new paid platform because a lot of the things that I've said on my YouTube channel in the past have been very profitable for anybody that's watched my channel. And I love helping out people as much as possible, but I'm at the point now in my career moving forward where I think that some of the things that I say I should be rewarded for some of the things that I'm doing just because it takes a lot of work out of me. And so moving forward, today especially, or tomorrow, I'm going to be posting a video about an ICO that has been very popular. It's been on everyone's radar, and I'm going to be giving my personal opinion on this ICO coming up. And I'm going to be posting that on this new paid platform, and I'm very excited about this new post process, posting things on this new Guardian crypto trading platform. And every week or every month, I haven't really decided yet, I'm going to take 5 ICOs that are really being talked about, and I'm going to break them down and let you guys know on a scale which ones are going to be profitable in my opinion and which ones are going to be risky. So this new platform is going to be a very profitable platform as far as I'm concerned. Anybody that joins, you're going to be getting a lot of great education, and that's what I mean by profitable. I think that education in this space is one of the greatest assets. It's one of the greatest tools that you can have in your tool belt. So I highly encourage you to take a look at guardiancryptotrading.com and decide if it's something that you're interested in. But moving forward, I'm going to continue making free videos on YouTube for you guys, and I'm still excited to continue on with my channel doing that. But just know that I'm also going to have things on the side that are paid on the Guardian crypto trading platform that might potentially help you in growing your portfolio. So just keep that in mind, guys. That's going to be it for today's video. I'm really sorry that I couldn't get my live stream to work, guys, but I will look into that with my ISP, and hopefully I can get back to live streaming soon. That's going to be it for today, though, guys. Crypto Clay out.